Hey guys, so in this video we are going to be doing part 3 of Moon in the Signs. So in this one it's going to be Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. So if you have any of these signs in your moon, then just keep on watching and let's get started. So the first one that we are going to be talking about is Moon in Libra. So Libra is probably one of my favorite signs in general. I love Libras, I love Tauruses, like Pisces of course because my wife, they're very psychic, I love that shit. And you know, obviously Gemini, clearly. But yeah, so Libras are awesome people. So they are kind, sympathetic, and agreeable, optimistic, fair, and fond of social pleasure. So they love talking, they love communicating, and just they love being around people. They're considerate and thoughtful. Considerate and thoughtful. So they're very they're very considerate and thoughtful of your feelings. Like they don't try to like hurt you on purpose. Like they try to kind of like they do sugarcoat stuff sometimes, like just so they don't like upset you. They're very accepting of people and good reasoning skills. They're very good at like getting themselves out of like sticky situations. They love art and music, and they have a need for people and relationships. So they love people, they love to be in relationships, and not even just like intimate relationships or, you know, like marriage or anything like that, but even just like friendships or any type of relationships. They just love to be around people. They avoid confrontations and negative behaviors and emotions. So they don't like to deal with confrontations. Like if there's going to be a confrontation, like they just either walk away from the situation or they just they just try to avoid it at all costs. They don't like any of that stuff. They have an intense need for peace, harmony, and balance. So they're very zen people. Like they like just everything to be calm and content and chill. They hate getting their hands dirty, so they're definitely not somebody who likes to be in manual labor or anything that really just doesn't, they just don't like to get down and dirty, not them kind of people. And they have a really big desire to be liked by everyone, so kind of like Virgo, like they like to be liked by people. Leo. What am I talking about? They are facilitating and indecisive. They're very indecisive. Like they are probably, if I have to guess, they're probably, in my opinion, one of the most if not the most indecisive sign out of every sign. Like it's insane. Alright, so that is it for Libra. So the next one is going to be Scorpio. Scorpio is probably the most, other than Gemini, is probably the most hated sign, to be honest, and I get it, but like Scorpios are fucking amazing ass people. Like I don't give a shit what anyone says, like they are amazing ass people. Like they are just insane. Like they will fuck you up, like seriously. Like they are so they are crazy ass people, but in the best way possible. Okay, so we're going into that. So they are secretive. They are secretive and inclined to brood in silence over past wrongs. So they will kind of like, they will constantly think about like things that people have done to them, and they will just kind of have this festering of just oh, I hate what that person did to me like 3 years ago kind of thing. Their mental emotional focus is on central things, sex, or death. Like I said, they are a dark ass sign, but like awesome shit. Difficulty, they have a difficult time trusting people. They have a hard time being vulnerable and not in control. So a big thing for Scorpio is that they definitely do not like to show any kind of weakness. Like, they don't like to be vulnerable at all with people. Like, if a Scorpio is gonna be vulnerable, like, they have to really trust you, and like I said, like, they have a hard time trusting. So yeah, that's probably why Scorpios can tend to kind of like seem like assholes sometimes, because, or like they don't really have emotion, because like they just have a hard time trusting people, and so like they just put on this, you know, like, oh, I'm hard kind of thing, you know. They love and hate with passion, so they're very passionate ass people. Like, they're a Scorpio for a reason. Like, they will sting you, like, major. Like, they will love you with everything they have, and they will hate you with everything they have. Like, they are an intense ass water sign. Insane. They have intense emotion, like I said. They are very jealous and possessive people. And they hold on to grudges, like I said. They need to overcome guilt, resentment, and vindictiveness. So those can be a big thing with Scorpio, and like for them to be happy, they need to learn how to let that stuff go. So they're not content with superficial appearances. So they like to like dig deep in people, even though they don't like when people really dig deep in them, in their mind. Like, they don't trust people. They love to dig deep into other people's shit. So if you always have on this mask, like, they hate it. So they kind of hate what other people do that they do, kind of thing, you know. So they have a great deal of emotional depth. Yeah, they do. They're actually like very emotional people, but they just hide it very well, and they're very like in depth, like I said, with their emotions, like, and with emotions, like, they're very like intelligent when it comes to that. It's just people just get the wrong idea. They're magnetic, energetic, independent, aggressive, patient, and determined. So they are patient people. Like, it's insane, because you would think they wouldn't be, but they're actually patient. And they're very like, yeah, just definitely all around, they're awesome ass people. Okay, so the next and last one is going to be Moon in Sagittarius. So they are independent, outspoken, open, generous, enthusiastic, idealistic, inspired, and optimistic? And optimistic, that's what I was trying to say. Definitely a lot of things in one sentence, but yeah, they are, yeah, those are, definitely identifies as a Sag to like the T. I don't know, actually, surprisingly, I don't know a lot of Sagittarius people. Like, for some reason, I just don't know a lot of them. I don't know why. I know a shit ton of Geminis though, like, that's for damn sure, but like, I don't know that many Sagittariuses, but yeah. And they thrive on travel, sociability, fellowship, and expressing your opinion. So they're very vocal. They will tell you how it is. They're not the kind to really sugarcoat stuff. Like, they will just be honest with you, and sometimes they can be too honest or too blunt, and they don't, you know, they're not, I mean, but the thing is with Sagittarius, like, they're not doing it to be mean. It's just, they just figure, like, you would rather them be honest than lie to them, or for them to lie to you. So, but sometimes they can just take a little too far. Yeah. They're adventurous, playful. They love being adventurous, playful, and they love their freedom. So they're very just like go with the flow kind of people. Like they just love just to travel and be adventurous, and so they can tend to be like the people that just like go like travel Europe and do shit like that, or always just going on vacations. And that's just how like they feel emotionally fulfilling, and just stuff like that is just going and traveling and just being like a bird, just being free. But that's a fire you can't contain, because Sagittarius is a fire sign, so that is just a fire you gotta let burn, because whew, yeah. Okay. And they're always ready for a good time, so they're like a really fun, like they always want to like go and have fun. Like they don't always want to like they might not always like want to go out and drink and do shit like that, but they always like to have fun with people. Like they're just always about just having fun, going out, letting loose kind of thing. And they always can find the silver lining. Like that's one thing that I do love, and I feel like every Sagittarius that I've met has this quality, and it is amazing. Like they always can find the silver lining in any situation. Like it is insane. Like they're very optimistic people. So if something like in any situation, it's insane. Like I wish I had that ability, because it's one of probably the best qualities in like any sign, to be honest, is that I just love, that's like my favorite thing about Sagittarius, is that you can throw any situation at them and they will find the positive outcome, or the positive, like the silver lining in that situation. It's like for me, like I couldn't think of that, but like you throw that to the Sagittarius and they're just like, nah dude, and you're like, the fuck, you know? So, but they do tend to be uncomfortable with their own or others' problems or emotional pain. So they do have a hard time, like, kind of like, they do tend to be uncomfortable. Like, if someone's like, you know, then they're kind of like, eh. They avoid emotions when giving advice, and when they give advice, they go more for like a philosophical approach. And their friendships tend to be more important to them than like relationships, or like love and romance, basically. Partner, so they need a partner that shares like their same like ideals and ambitions. They also are really big on needing like emotional freedom. Like they just need to be able to just express themselves the way that they see fit. They can be intolerant, closed-minded, dogmatic, arrogant, and non-objective. So yeah, those are definitely things that can happen, because they do tend to kind of distance themselves emotionally, and they can have a tendency to be risk-taking and act like they are better than other people. So yeah, it's kind of like holier-than-thou attitude sometimes, and that's really not a good thing. But it's not going to always be as bad, or some of them might not have it, but they are definitely big risk takers. So yeah, so that is it for part 3, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.